100 days
of traveling through Africa.
Well, how do you feel?
I mean, right now I feel like pretty relaxed and calm and not stressed, but I know that in the past weeks
There
we've
was a
had
lot of stress, and it wasn't all just vacation looking like traveling. So, should we start chronologically?
Yeah, we can. So we started in Jordan with your parents, actually, this trip.
Yeah, but officially, I would say we count the beginning of our travels with volunteering with the Bedouins, which was an experience of its own. Even though it lasted only 1 week, it feels like a big part of this trip.
Well, yeah, we found the opportunity beforehand, and for 1 week we helped this Deifala was his name, like a Bedouin, with his bookings online and his camp, and yeah,
Some are good memories, some are bad, but now we are mostly remembering just the funny things and the calmness of the desert, the heat, the repetitiveness of the days.
True.
It felt like we've been there much longer than we have actually been, and we definitely have to make a video out of it. Like this is something we completely forgot to do.
Yeah.
It was also our first volunteering. So as an experience, it showed us a lot of things, and definitely it showed us the stuff that we are not looking forward to in volunteering. So something to be maybe more cautious about when we are choosing a next one. We are planning soon to go for another volunteering, which should be in the west of Kenya. So let's see how that goes.
And actually, yeah, just today also we applied for a new one, like in Uganda. So yeah, now we have like some plans along the way, because we didn't do any in Egypt and in Ethiopia. And
in Egypt mostly because there were like so many things to do that we wanted to see that we really didn't necessarily feel like we have time to volunteer. And in Ethiopia we would like to.
There was no opportunity, yeah, it's true.
There was nothing. So now in Kenya we're gonna catch up.
So after Jordan we crossed to Egypt, and it started with the Sinai, which was just awesome, like the continuation of holidays. Super nice vibes, the sea, nice people. We enjoyed it.
We did our freediving course there. We met Remo again, our friend. So that felt really nice. That like the Egypt started shway, slowly, nice on the sea, and it really amazed us. Like the sea life was so cool, and we really appreciated every moment spent in the sea. So we've been very happy to experience this.
And yeah, it's such a smooth transition into the backpacking and part of this world tour. Since before it was like really kind of holidays in Jordan, and now we're like really on our own with the backpacks. And then we crossed to the Nile Valley, to Luxor, Aswan, all the temples. And from there it started to be a bit more stressful, a bit busier. We accelerated as well for some reason, like really our days started to be so packed from the moment we arrived in Luxor.
Yeah, and we tried to interact with as many locals as we could, so we were very active on couchsurfing. Before we were hitchhiking quite a lot, but that from some point it stopped being possible because there were so many police restrictions. So we didn't hitchhike so much through the central Egypt, but we hitchhiked a lot on the coast. That was super nice, and couchsurfing is super popular in Egypt, so it's really easy to meet people, to either go hang out with them or get hosted, and it's something that we would definitely recommend to every traveler to try.
Try the Egyptian hospitality through couchsurfing or through anything, because anyway you will meet people in the streets or just randomly talking, and who knows what can
happen. Yeah, and people are extremely friendly, so that's my favorite thing about Egypt. The people were super nice and welcoming. But it's true that towards the end we were pretty done with Egypt. We were tired.
There's some wind that blows sand in our faces.
Yeah.
We were done, and also at the end of Egypt, we had to decide where we're going next, because everything is kind of spontaneous. Like we knew we wanted to stay in Africa, but we didn't know if we would go to Ethiopia or if we would directly maybe like skip it and land in Kenya directly.
And that's another thing, like everything is a bit spontaneous, not just because we like to be spontaneous, but also because in Africa it kind of feels that stuff are changing quickly. So if we would book everything in advance, there is a high chance that we would have to change the plans anyway.
Yeah. And we're so happy because in the end we booked our tickets, we got there, and we had an amazing 3 weeks in the country.
We really were happy that we made this decision and we have no regrets. The country surprised us in many ways. Definitely was challenging at some point, but it was the true spirit of the traveling, as I imagined, like traveling Africa. Plus, we met very little tourists, which gave more authenticity to the place, and it felt like something that might change in next years. So we were pretty happy to be there now and at this time.
True. Yeah, it really felt like sometimes you are in the middle of a documentary where you get to this tribe in the middle of the bush, and you're the only white, and they really live, like in the huts, like traditional lifestyles, traditional clothing, and it feels incredible to be able to live that.
To witness it and to bear in mind that even they are exposed to the modern world, and slowly they are changing their ways. So this is something to realize that it's not going to be like this forever, and it's very special for us that we've been able to witness that.
So yeah, Ethiopia was challenging sometimes with the food, especially for Lisa.
I had food poisoning, but it might have easily been from Egypt as well, because it was in the beginning of Ethiopia, and unfortunately I ate injera that day, so everything connected with my food poisoning was automatically make me feel sick. Couldn't eat injera, which was part of essentially every meal in Ethiopia, and there were maybe in Addis a little bit, but apart from Addis there were not many choices for different kind of cuisine. So if you don't like Ethiopian cuisine, you pretty much fucked. And I felt that on my belt, like I lost some weight. I really didn't even have an appetite, like I didn't feel motivated to eat the food. So I was just eating pasta and omelettes, and sometimes it was mixed with avocado, and I was very happy about that. I really enjoyed the fresh juices, especially the mango juice with avocado. That was like amazing, and the coffee was really nice and super cheap.
No, overall, like we spent so little money in Ethiopia. Like at the time when we just landed there, we were a bit confused with like the currency situation, that it felt like some meals were very expensive at the start.
Also, like some of the groceries were very expensive. For example, I remember the first day in the supermarket picking up grapes and realizing that they charge 8 euros for one straw, like a bag of grapes. It was ridiculous. So we realized that there are certain things that once it's imported, it has an extremely high price tag.
Mm-hmm. And in Ethiopia, we managed to couchsurf a bit as well. There are many tour guides that are on the platform, and they use it both as a way to find potential customers, but also we found just to hang out with like travelers, because it allows them like to have a different relationship than with the travelers they usually meet. And so they were asking like questions like, okay, like what's best for my tour? Like, should I package it this way? So it was super nice to be on that side also of the industry, and we felt like we had genuine connections, even though it was kind of set up as a tour guiding found on the website that was not meant for it.
Yeah, but so the one time we really took it as a tour guiding opportunity, and like finding a tour guide plus spending the 2 nights with the couchsurfing host was in Jinka with Danny, who ended up being super sweet, hospitable. We absolutely didn't feel like he's our guide. We more felt like we are with a friend and we are hanging out, and we would definitely recommend him to anyone coming to Omo Valley. We stayed with him for 2 nights with his family. It was a very cute experience. He had a lot of little siblings and nieces, and I don't know what, like they were all kind of related, and there were so many kids in the house. That was like something very memorable for us as an experience. He helped us visit Mursi tribe, which was also extremely memorable, and we did a very nice hike with him.
Yeah.
And then we randomly met like on the way later, and as I said, it felt like being with a friend or like seeing a friend again. So that was super nice. Couchsurfing was a great way how to connect with all these people.
But sometimes it also felt like in Ethiopia that your friends are trying to have like a friendly like relationship with someone, like trying to ask like for advice because they're locals, and they're like, no, but I can help you, like I can make you a good price. And in a few instances we found that we were kind of played like in a way that they were still making profit, and they were disguising a bit the truth. So I remember at some time I felt a bit tired and annoyed, especially in the Omo Valley, where I didn't really know what I was paying for, to who was going the money. For example, we went to this bull jumping ceremony, and we had this tour guide was telling us, you have to pay the dad of the jumper because he has to pay for all these cows. And I'm pretty sure to this day that actually the money goes mostly like to this tour guide and not to the dad. So
we don't know. It's
don't
just
know.
like sometimes you are not feeling it, and sometimes you feel the genuinity of the person who is guiding you, and that's what makes the difference. We don't know where the truth is, but it's just that with certain guides we didn't feel completely at ease. So overall we were pretty excited to cross the borders to Kenya. Similar to Egypt, 23 days seemed like enough in one country, and then suddenly you needed like change of environment, of language, food, for example. So we were excited. The journey was long because we crossed by land with the bus. It was 13 hours spent in a bus?
Yeah, it was a long day because in the morning we did like 3 hours to get to Moyale, the border crossing town. There we had quite a long stop as well because we arrived at the moment where the officers were taking their lunch. And then we took the last bus of the day at 6 p.m. that goes all the way to Nairobi, like a direct bus.
And it was a bumpy ride, so I was expecting personally to get some like sleep. That's why I was quite happy about night bus. But at the end it turned out to be a drive that you have to get off the bus approximately every 45 minutes for a police check.
She's from Marseille. No, from like 3 times maybe during the night. No, we went out of the bus.
Are you kidding? Paul, you're kidding.
No, so maybe I don't. Okay. So also when you travel for 100 days, sometimes you get on each other's nerves.
It's such a bullshit what she's saying. 3 times out of the bus we've been stopped. 10 times at least. Like 13-hour bus drive was at least 10 times being stopped. And out of these 10 times, which I'm not exaggerating, I think I'm more like undermining, we had to go out, I would say minimum 5 or 6 times.
Yeah. The truth lies in between.
Please, who crossed with the bus, let us know who's right.
Or say in the comments. Even if you don't know, it
really
doesn't hurt to say Paul is right. And when we got to Kenya, the first thing that we noticed was the level of service. It was so much higher than in Ethiopia. Like we got to a cheap hotel in Nairobi, 14 euros per night. And we got electricity, hot water. Like, it was crazy. So good.
I was enjoying the toilet and the shower so much.
Yeah.
And I know like people in Ethiopia are gonna be like, what, we have electricity, we have water. we've been in the Omo Valley, and our last
the last
7
week
to 5 days were really tough. So in Addis, yes, like we've been in a very nice hotel. In Lalibela, we've been in a beautiful hotel. Really, like we enjoyed our time in these places. And then it's true that we were choosing cheap accommodations. So when there was an option to go for a cheap accommodation, we would go for it. So if we would pay more money, then we would probably have better level of standards. What we are trying to say, it's like in Kenya, it felt like the basic standard. It's kind of the standard that we would have for a hotel. Yes, so there is no hate for Ethiopia. We really loved the country and to spend our time there. It was an adventure, but the level of comfort,
the budget was
not the best. Kenya was also not just easy. We are here in the rainy season, so there are times when we are, for example, camping and everything is humid and nothing dries, and Paul got sick, like for the throat, and then I have it as well. And for example, here in Lamu, before we came, we were really skeptical as well. There was a cholera outbreak just 2 days before we were supposed to fly in here. So yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of challenge once again. That's what makes it exciting as well, kinda, to not have just like the easy path that is kinda paved for you. So Paul, what was your favorite moment so far during our travels?
I was thinking about it, and I think that the best moments were the ones that were totally unplanned, like not totally but quite unplanned. And the first that comes to mind is when this one day we're in Egypt and we are talking with the locals, and they're saying, okay, if you stop there you have a chance of seeing the dugongs, which are these sea cows. And we stopped there and we said, okay, we want to see them today, and we took this hike and we went at sunset to try our luck, and we found a dugong. It felt extremely special, and being able to repeat that the next morning and see the turtle, this was really like a perfect 24 hours for me.
That's true. In general, like the animal encounters that were unplanned, similar to here in Kenya with the giraffes alongside the road, that was so magical. In Ethiopia, we also had a pretty cool day in the national park, where we are not allowed to be because we didn't pay the entrance fee and we didn't know. So we are like on our way out, and suddenly we meet the ranger, and he proposes to take us for a walk, and we see lizards, monitor lizards and crocodiles, and we hear hippos everywhere, and we are going through these ankle-deep waters, and he is barefoot. We are in our shoes that are completely soaked. And looking at this moment now, I'm just like, what? How did we do this? How did we end up agreeing to this? And it's so crazy, and it's like such a cool memory right now. And there are many others. So there are definitely the animal encounters, and also like very nice experiences with people overall, when they are kind to us, and when they invite us to their house, or when they show us around their city. It's super nice and memorable, and we really appreciate everyone who we met on the way.
True. Yeah. And what was the best food?
So for when we've been in Ethiopia and I was kind of craving other food, I remember I was saying I didn't appreciate kosher as much as I should have when we had it. Because kosher is like, sounds kind of funny when you describe what it is as a food, and it's cheap, but really it became kind of my comfort food, thinking about it and like being like, oh, I wish I could have some kosher. For you?
For me, but I don't remember exactly, but I remember that the first time I tried tips in Ethiopia, I really like kind of fell in love with it. I really liked it, and then I kept having this idea in mind, like I love tips, so I want to order it everywhere. and every single time after I was disappointed.
They didn't taste the same as the
Yeah,
first
it was.
one.
So it's really weird. Like, it's a food that I only appreciated once, and all the but I still think I really like it when it's done properly.
And for example, here in Kenya, they have a pretty delicious meals as well. Like Swahili food is very tasty. We did some cooking with a local. It was delicious. And just yesterday, I tried very nice curry vegetables with the coconut. That's like such a perfect combination.
Yeah, they have lots of Indian influence, like lots of Indian meals available at the restaurants, and lots of also Indian products in the supermarket. Like, we were so surprised to find
Yeah.
a huge aisle.
Calcutta mouthwash is on the top of our...
Try it if you don't know.
Grocery
Like, the mouthwash made out of like these little spices, colorful spices. Super nice.
So it's a supplement for chewing gum, which we didn't have for, I guess,
For a
3
long
months
time,
now. Yeah, good times. So this is the end of the recap of 100 days on the road.
But much more is to come because we're continuing our journey all the way to South Africa.
Yeah, we didn't really anticipate before coming to Africa that we're gonna take so long crossing all these countries.
But traveling such a long time, we also needed to slow down because we're exhausting ourselves otherwise. So we really take the time to discover the cultures, the traditions in each country.
And it really helps us to differentiate each country, especially because we are traveling on budget. We really see the difference between each country as we cross it. We were saying that probably like a luxury traveler who really spends a lot of money in African countries doesn't necessarily have a chance to see so much difference.
But because like we're really like in the buses manipulating the money, seeing the cheap accommodation, we really see like I felt like much more of the differences. We try to speak to so many locals also on the way.
So yeah, we really appreciate this local approach. Sometimes we meet people who live in the country and they never tried, for example, boda boda, like the motorbike, or they never tried to take the public transport. So in certain level, it feels like we know their country a bit more than themselves because we tried all these like ways of travel, these cheap street foods and everything.
And and coming soon, there are like super exciting projects in the next months that are gonna challenge us and make us discover new places.
We are very excited to share with you, and also some of our family members are coming to visit, so that's gonna be a lot of fun on the way. And we are thankful for all the followers who are really growing on our YouTube channel as fast as Paul's hair.
It's a challenge. Like, I started with no hair on my head, and let's see where it takes us.
Yeah, you don't really have a vision. And also for everyone who gives us feedback and interacts with us on Instagram and social media, we really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for the support, and let's see where this journey takes us.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.